Okay guys, I've just got to head down the shop, and this one's actually a bit of a special video because I just found out yesterday that my local shop that has been on my channel quite a lot, and it's been in a local family for generations, and they're shutting next week, and this is a topic on small business and what generally happens here in Japan. So I've been going to this shop the last 5 years, and that's been on the channel a few times, and we'll drive past it soon. And what generally happens where I'm from, if you have a business and it's running well, a little supermarket like this one, normally it gets sold, but that's not the case in Japan. This little mini mart supermarket, it's a profitable business, and normally they have 3 staff working, and there's always people inside. So it sort of threw me a little bit that they didn't sell the business, and that possibly someone else buy it that might want to do this trade. But I've asked around, and I asked the obvious question, is why didn't they just sell the business? And they said it's not normally done like that here in Japan. So where I'm from, they have like business brokers, and you just put your business up for sale, whether it's a leasehold or freehold. Freehold meaning that the building itself is included. And this is quite a normal way that people finish their business careers or move on to something else. They just sell the business. But what generally happens here, these small businesses, they're usually named after the owner. So sort of like the old school, be somebody's last name shop or whatever, or last name plumbing, last name carpentry, and the business dies with the family name. So a shop like this one will shut down. It'll be all the stock wound down, etc., and it'll just sit empty, and then possibly someone else will come along at some stage and buy the building and maybe run a supermarket out of it or something. But the point being is people don't sell the business generally as a going concern, so something that's in operation. So this generation has it now, the family business, and they're reaching retirement age, or they might just be at retirement age, I'm not sure. But they've pulled the plug, and they only informed sort of the community a week or 2 ago. I only just found out yesterday. But this is quite common, that they just leave the building blank, and it's very common for restaurants too. Like a restaurant will start up and it'll go out of business or whatever, and then just take everything with it and empty it out. This is my shop here on the left, and everybody knows this shop, and I shop here 3 or 4 times a week to get a lot of basics, and also vegetables for the cafe and things, because they sell a lot of the local vegetables that you can't get in town. And as I said, it's always got customers, and they've just made a decision that they're going to retire or whatever, and that's it. So this is quite an odd thing for an Australian anyway. A lot of people that want to get into business, they might even look up the sort of business real estate brokers, and if they're in the business to buy a small shop or a small cafe or something like that, there'll be a lot of people's businesses listed there for whatever sum they have on it. So the lesson here, I think, because I'm a small business owner, and I have my cafe in my house, so for me it's not a concern, is that if you do buy a business and you spend a lot of money on the fit out, and for whatever reason, health, age or profitability, you have to leave, this is quite a risk. So I've noticed a lot of little restaurants that pop up, they don't spend a lot of money on the fit out and the decor, except for the swanky ones in town. There's quite a few nice ones, but for general small little beauty cafes and stuff, they don't spend a lot. If you look at my cafe, I'm the same. My furniture's all second hand, and it's just in my old house, and I haven't spent a lot on the fit out, but that's mainly because I didn't have it. But this is a thing to consider if you wanted to go into business, and if you want to go into small business and specifically hospitality. I've got a big series on Patreon, and I think I'm up to my 6th episode. So if you wanted more of the boring sort of info and stuff like that, that's useful, just pop over there. So I've just got to pop in and get some eggs and things. The next main supermarket is another 2 kilometres down the street. So this is going to be quite a little hassle for the little old ladies and stuff that gave up their licenses and they sort of walk to the shops and things like that. This will be a little bit of a blow to them. But as in rural areas, they're very well serviced. We also get stuff from a company called Co-op Deli. It's called Kopu in Japanese, and they have an online catalogue, and a lot of the oldies order from these catalogues, and they also have the paper catalogue. So if you're super old school, you can just tick items in a catalogue, and the driver comes along and picks up your order. And this is all like farmers market stuff, so it's all good stuff. So the oldies that don't drive, they'll probably have to shift more onto the home delivery. So heading back, and it's also a difficult thing when there's a business that's been in the family for a long time. So I think there's a sensibility here in Japan about these things, whereas where I'm from, it's sort of all sort of long gone of passing the sort of company or the business over to your son and whatever. But I think in Japan it's a little bit more old school, and that could be possibly one of the reasons. And also maybe starting up a business, people want to start afresh, so maybe they don't want to take on sort of the image of whatever's been created by the previous owner. That could also be a possibility. So there's a sensibility here. I don't totally understand it because I'm not Japanese, but I'm just trying to think of reasons why this is the case. And also one of my wife's friends from high school, her family business in Saitama, Ken, they were fishmongers, so they had quite a popular fish shop, seafood shop, and that's been in their family for generations, and the daughter didn't want to take it on, although she worked with her father in the shop. And the father's like gone into a nursing home now, and she didn't marry, and she doesn't really want to keep doing it, and that's just had the same fate. It's just been emptied out and locked up, and that's it. So the business wasn't sold on, even though the business was fairly successful and long running, and had a good customer base. So it's a little bit odd, but this is probably why you see a lot of places in Japan that used to be businesses, and they're sold as sort of empty buildings that used to operate as such and such. So in Australia, actually, the term for sort of value add on a business is called goodwill. So goodwill is what the business is worth. So it's the name and it's the image and everything like that. It's the extra amount of money that people are willing to pay over the cost of the physical things that they receive. So some people actually can take out loans against their business based on the value of their goodwill. So sometimes banks will judge what a business is worth, including the goodwill of a business. And this is the same in divorce settlements too. So if you're married and there's a divorce, sometimes the court system will put a dollar figure on what the goodwill is of a business, and then divvy out the money to either party. So it's a total different mindset in regards to this, and it's something you need to take into consideration if you were to start a business that pretty much, depending what it is, small business anyway, goodwill doesn't mean a lot. And even if you had a super successful cafe, supermarket, restaurant, the chances are people are not going to be willing to pay above whatever the stock is, stock and fit out at the time, stock and plant. And I've noticed this, my friend sold his Airbnb, and he sold it for about 220,000 US dollars, and just the buildings and all that were worth at least that, and his revenue from the Airbnb was around about $3,000 a month. So a business that generates $3,000 a month, which is mainly profit if you're running an accommodation business, it's probably about 90% of that's profit. It's worth money where I'm from, but selling the building that's even an ongoing concern that is generating this sort of money, it's not getting the prices that you'd expect, at least where I'm from. So this is a surprise. I was supposed to do the potatoes this week, but it's just been raining the whole time, and it's sort of only just stopped now, but it's going to have to wait till next week, and I hope it hasn't all affected the potatoes that are in the ground. And I'll do a couple of potato cooking videos too, so look out for those. So anyway, a bit of a talk on small business in Japan, and if you plan to do it, just remember that goodwill is probably not going to come back, no matter how much you build it up, and whatever plant and equipment you put in, chances are you won't get that back either. So it's a tough business environment, Japan. I always tell people this, and that's also why I started up the series, because so many people do go out of business quickly in Japan, and especially in the hospitality business, opening up cafes and ramen shops and things like this, they sort of turn over like musical chairs, and this is because a lot of people don't understand just how difficult it is to run a small business, and if you have the right information, at least it's going to give you a chance. So anyway, as always, hope you like the video. Hotaru. Hotaru.
Let's go alcohol.